I'm a grateful believer in Jesus Christ, who's in recovery for control, adultery, and not trusting God, and my name is Jason. When I was 7, 8 years old, I was sexually abused by a family member. That threw me into a world that I was not ready for. At that point in time, I had lost control, and then the rest of my life has been attempting to regain that control that was lost when I was abused as a young boy. I immediately started to attempt to exert control over every person in my life. Whether that was a young lady that I was dating, whether that was my friends, I absolutely wanted to exert control over them. I also wanted to overachieve in everything that I did in my life. I wanted to be the smartest person in the classroom. I wanted to be the best athlete on the court. Throughout my marriage with Jackie, I wasn't equipped to handle the hidden hurts that I had been covering up for a very long time. I had done a really good job of making sure nobody, including my wife, knew about the abuse that took place at my expense. In 2013, I was blessed to be able to accept my dream position as a head basketball coach. But my affair was discovered by my wife in late 2013, and we were expecting our third child. I had never thought that I would be that guy. I'd never done anything like that in my life.
The first affair, we tried to do this on our own. I think I just kind of shoved it all down and pretended that everything was okay, and so we covered it up and we just moved on. But every single day I thought about what he had done and what we had gone through and how much it hurt. I trusted that he wouldn't do it again. I trusted myself, him, us, we could do it. It was no longer a job that I gave to God.
As time would go on, time goes on. 8 years later, I found myself in the same position that I'd found myself in 2013.
It was like a rug pulled from underneath me, finding out. I was angry. I was angry at God. It was a new feeling. I felt like I had been doing things right just from the very beginning. From being a kid, I just always tried to follow the rules, and so it felt very unfair. Even though I was so hurt, I didn't want my kids to be as hurt as I was. So we stayed in the same household. We were not in the same room. I realized after the second affair that it had very little to do with me. I told him I couldn't help him, and he was gonna have to find the help that he needed, that I most likely would not be a part of that process.
It was chaos. It was insanity. I had lost control of who I wanted to be. It gave me the most disgusting feeling that I've ever had in my life. Walking into that first night of Celebrate Recovery here at the branch was an unbelievable feeling. Listening, not talking. I had talked my entire life, and it was just a perfect time for me to just shut up and listen. Being able to be around those men and women, people that were complete strangers to me, absolutely 100% changed my life. We collectively realized that our lives were unmanageable, and we collectively realized that this is out of control and we need help.
And he kept talking about it and how much it helped him. So I eventually decided that I would come, not necessarily for our relationship, but to see what it could do for me. And I didn't make any promises that we would stay together.
When I was able to discuss with her the abuse, that was something I had buried deep down inside. I wasn't going to tell anybody. I was going to take that one to my grave. And then being able to hit rock bottom, was able to expose that from my past.
It was hard to hear. You wouldn't wish that on anyone. To find out he'd held this secret from not just me, but from everybody, it did put everything in a different perspective for me. It allowed me to have empathy for him as that young boy and still be angry at what he had done.
Then her reaction of just nurturing, of loving, of being able to put aside the fact that I had wronged her, for her to be able to show me empathy, to show me love, and to grab me and to hug me even though she wanted to punch me in the face. That was a really good night.
It helped me see that he was willing and finally able to fully come clean. That's probably the moment when I thought, we may have a chance. Ending up at CR was the best thing that could have happened. I was trying to do everything on my own, and it was obviously going not well for me. And I decided I couldn't do this anymore, not by myself. I don't have the tools. I don't have anything. I don't even know where the toolbox is at this point.
All throughout my time in Celebrate Recovery, just terrified of losing my wife. Terrified. And then God got me to a point where, hey, look, you're of no use to Jackie if you're of no use to me. From then on, recovery became less about, oh my goodness, I need to save my marriage, that's why I'm coming here every Tuesday. I need to save my family, that's why I'm coming here every Tuesday. And so it went from that to, I've got to make myself right, and I've got to start to build a relationship with him. Basically, I learned to put my identity in Christ and less of my identity in what I wanted to become, what I thought was best for me. And God was telling me no. He said, here's what I want.
My root cause was not giving everything over to God, not trusting God fully. And when I fully trusted him was when I started seeing a change in our marriage. When that started happening, forgiveness came easier, and it became less about me, it became less about him, and it became more about God.
God's not only restored our marriage, but he's taken it to a level where I didn't think it was possible to exist. This miraculous gift that God has given me, everything is possible through him. Absolutely anything and everything is possible in this world.